Yo, what's up, tea sippers? Eli Tomac farewell season. So, what do I mean by this exactly? Basically, what I feel like has happened here is since Tomac had his not so great ride at Anaheim 1, what did he finish? Like 8th or ninth place or something? For no real reason. I think it's got a lot of people kind of thinking a little bit about this. It's got some people thinking like, damn, maybe we're not going to see a real, like, championship contending Tomac. Maybe this really is just more of a, farewell kind of season where all Tomac is really trying to do is just maybe go out there and get a win or two. And he just kind of wants to end his career on a better note than the ruptured Achilles last year. And I remember saying this way back there, okay? I remember saying, with all those videos when I was talking about Tomac ain't coming back, Tomac's not going to come back, there's no way, he's not coming back. What I really meant by that was, yeah, I mean, he can try to come back, but he ain't going to be the same Tomac. That's literally the words that I said months ago. We're talking four or 5 months ago, okay? So, it is interesting. Here we are. I feel like there was way more people that were expecting Tomac to come out swinging Anaheim 1, and be a real championship contender this year and be basically the same Tomac that he was last year, this year, all right? But, we still don't know yet, We're only through round 1. We still don't know. Tomac certainly could go out there and do a lot better, okay? But I just get these certain feelings about things, and to me, that's what it seemed more. It seemed more like Tomac is just trying to go out there and finish off his career on a better note than a ruptured Achilles. I don't think it really is in that realm of Tomac's truly thinking in his mind like he's going to go out there and just dominate and be a real championship favorite throughout the season. I don't even think Tomac is thinking that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, if the opportunity is there where maybe some of the top guys crash out or whatever, of course Tomac's going to take advantage of that. But I think this is more of like, kind of when Chad Reed was on his way out, like he could go out there and get a win, a main event win here and there, but he wasn't really a real hardcore championship contender. And that's what I feel like with Tomac. He's not going to be the same Tomac after that ruptured Achilles. I tried to say that back then. Nobody wanted to hear that back then, Everybody just, really wants Tomac to come back and be the same Tomac, including me. Of course, we all want that. But it's like, there's a difference in what I would want to have happen and what I feel like is just like more of the real talk, what's more of the likelihood of things of happening. There's a big difference between those two things. It's like, I love Adam Cianciarulo. I would love for him to go out there and win the next 5 450 Supercross championships. There's nothing I would love more than that. But the odds of that are slim to none. There's like a 0% chance of him probably winning a single other Supercross championship. Wait a minute, he never has won a Supercross championship, but you get my point though. No matter who I'm talking about, whether it's Deegan, Cianciarulo, Tomac, it literally doesn't matter. I like these guys. I really want to see them do good. And, of course, Tomac has already done really good, so he's kind of on a different stratosphere. But still, yeah, even talking about this year, I would love for Tomac to go out there and really battle Jett Lawrence tooth and nail every round. I would love to see him battle Chase Sexton and get up there and battle with Webb and shit, But I just don't think the The likelihood of that is there. He may do it in a few rounds. I'm not saying he can't. I mean, it is Eli Tomac. I still think he'd go out there and win a main event or two. But, like, all I'm trying to get at, though, is that Tomac that you knew from, like, last year and the year before that was, like, a real championship favorite, like, put the chips on Tomac for the chip. I just don't think it's the same thing anymore. I just don't think it's that same thing anymore. You know, there's a difference between what I wish these riders could do and then what they have either proven or what has happened that sort of changes that narrative, you know? It's like, that's kind of my thing about it. You know, so definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I mean, I'm sure there's still a lot of people that think Tomac is still, you know, he's still going to be the same guy regardless. And it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible for Tomac to get right back in the swing of things and be right back in that championship fight. It's certainly possible. But I'm just saying I'm not seeing it as being the more likelihood thing here. I'm seeing the more chance of him just being like more like a third to fifth place kind of guy, generally, you know, more so than being like a first to third place kind of guy in the main events this year. Like I say, he can still get up there and get a win or two, but this is just my opinion on it. This is just my, you know, and at the end of the day, with all this stuff, it's just, you know, it's kind of, it's all a gamble at the end of the day. You know, I don't know really how affected Tomac is from that ruptured Achilles. It just seems like that's a pretty severe thing. And even when Tomac talked about it, like him coming back, you know, he just talks, if you see any of the interviews, any of the stuff, Tomac is always bringing up this thing of like, I just didn't want my career to end on the ruptured Achilles note. It really ain't about like, I'm going to come out there and, you know, really be swinging for this championship. I just don't even think Tomac is thinking like that. That's my thing. I don't even think Tomac's thinking like that. Fuck me thinking he could do it or you know, Tomac fans thinking he could do it. I don't even think Tomac is thinking that way. It's not life or death for Tomac to come out here and win this 2024 Supercross championship. I feel like he's just wanting to come out here and get his kind of final season. I think he said this is going to be his final season. I'm pretty sure he said that, but I don't know exactly. But I think this is going to be Tomac's last year. He's just going out there. I feel like when Tomac had the ruptured Achilles and it was kind of like we were debating whether he was going to come back or not, you know, I feel like once he said and the information came out that he was coming back, it sort of sparked up this, you know, kind of like the fans getting excited or sort of overhyped in their head, thinking that like, oh wow, this must mean that Tomac is going to come back for the next 2 or 3 years and he's going to be really a championship contender. I feel like it kind of tricked them a little bit, you know what I mean? Because they were scared that Tomac wasn't even going to come back, period, which was a major chance of that happening. But on the flip side, I feel like with Tomac saying he is coming back, it kind of got everybody a little bit out of sorts with their thought about it, you know? I feel like a lot of them, you know, instead of just thinking like, oh, maybe Tomac will just come back and have a bit of a last farewell kind of year where he's probably not going to get the same results that he's gotten the last couple years. Instead of them thinking that, which is probably the more realistic thought process, they thought more along the lines of like, bro, Tomac's coming back. Y'all are fucked, dude. Oh, man. You know, I just can't play into that. I just don't see it that way, you know? And like I say, there is always that chance. There's always that chance, especially with Tomac that's already proven it before. It's one thing to talk about like Cianciarulo or some of these other guys that hasn't really done it like that in the 450 class, but Tomac has already done it. But I'm just saying, I just don't think it's what some of you guys are hoping it's going to be. That's all I'm saying. And you know, sometimes when you're the real talker, you got to say things that people don't want to hear. You got to say things that, don't necessarily, it's not always the popular opinion, you know? The real opinion is not always the most popular opinion. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not, you know? But this is just a little bit of real talk. I saw some people on Twitter. The reason why I even made this video is because I saw some people kind of talking on Twitter about, hey guys, did anybody think that maybe this is just a farewell year for Tomac? Like, maybe he's, you know, just going to go out like Chad Reed and kind of have, you know, maybe 1 or 2 last main event wins and that's it. Well, in fact, there were people thinking that this is what was going to happen. People like me, as soon as he had that Achilles injury, right then and there, that's what I thought. Like, he ain't gonna never be the same Tomac again. He was already damn near on his way out. And if he does try to come back, it's gonna be something lesser than the kind of Tomac that you know. You know, it's gonna be more of a farewell season, not like a go out on top kind of season. Those are 2 different things. But it was just interesting me seeing those tweets, like people acting like nobody in the world was thinking that Tomac was going to go out there and be, you know, just kind of a farewell kind of guy. But there were people thinking that. That wasn't necessarily the popular opinion. The popular opinion was more like Tomac's going to come back and be the exact same guy, like he never even had the Achilles injury. And Tomac's back with a vengeance, and a lot of people expected him to do a lot better at Anaheim 1 than, what the hell was that, an 8th or 9th place? You know, you just don't expect Tomac to do that unless he has like a crash or something to happen. There wasn't really anything that happened, man. That was just like a, Tomac was just back there kind of thing. So, like I say though, you know, Tomac go out here in this next round and get a main event win. But in the long run, on the all 17 rounds, by the time we get to the end of it, I just don't think it's going to be Tomac in the hunt for that shit. I really don't. I think it's going to be more like Jett Lawrence, Chase Sexton, Cooper Webb, potentially Jason Anderson. Roxon may get up in there a little bit, but, you know, I'm just not even seeing Tomac even in the top 3 for the championship at this point. I'm really just not seeing it, man. So that's my opinion on it. Like I say, I love Tomac. I love Cianciarulo. I'm a Hayden Deegan fan. It's, y'all boys get it twisted. You get it tricked up in your head, you know. I talk about these potential possibilities and these potential things that could happen, but it's not in a hater kind of fashion. It's not like I want to see them do bad. I don't want to see any of these guys do bad. I don't want to see any of these guys get injured. You know what I'm saying? That should go without saying, but some of y'all boys can't understand that. It's bizarre as shit. Especially when you're a fanboy of these particular riders, you get real defensive and real any little thing that's said about him, it's like, oh man, he's a hater, fuck that guy. It's kind of insane. But I'm not gonna stop being real about this shit. So yeah.